G'day everyone, welcome back to the shed. Well, this little video is going to be about this steam pressure gauge that I picked up off Facebook Marketplace. I did talk about it before. There's no actual manufacturer, or not that I know of, but I got it for a bargain, absolute bargain, and I got to thank my brother who sent me the link and pointed me in the right direction, contacted the person. Initially, somebody else was coming to get it. They never turned up, so the guy got back in contact with me and said, "Are you interested?" And I said, "Yes." Made a time and went down and got it. So all we're going to do in this video is just take some parts off, give it a polish up, make it look a bit better. I haven't got any brasso on me, but I have got some silver, so anyway, same sort of stuff. But I'll just show you how good it works. I've got the air compressor pumped up and we are reading 100 psi on the gauge there. The gauge on the compressor is very tiny, as in most of you know, you've got a compressor. So I'll just bring this up. There you go, 100 psi, just over, beautiful. And who knows how long since that's had any actual pressure behind it. Just do that again. It looks really good. There we go, 100 psi. Hang on, let's get a better angle. There we go, beautiful. So obviously I'm going to mount this up somewhere, and when I sort out the, I'm going to run some air lines up in the shed here, get one down to the lathe and one over to the milling machine, and have the, what's the name? The sandblaster piped up permanently. Just make life easier, get good volume too, especially the sandblaster. And yeah, so it just makes sense to, you know, slowly start getting this place sorted out, because I had a bit of a rush on it, and then other things came along and life gets in the way and you forget about things and you rush on to something else. So anyway, that's life. That happens with most people. The little valve here you see, well, it doesn't move. I'll take that off and probably look at it later. So I'll just grab a small shifter here. In fact, I've got a bunch of spanners right in front of me which I could use. And that came off real nice and easy. So they either, no thread sealant. There we go, just. As with most pressure gauges, a very small hole. They only take a very small diameter, even though it's a large thread. Probably about half-inch BSP or something like that. Now I should have got a bit better prepared. I'll get my little screwdriver set. I'll go for a walk. It's Sunday afternoon here in my part of the world, and it's absolutely beautiful. I probably should be down the beach or something like that, but alas, if I'm down the beach, I'm not getting anything done here in the shed or at home. And sometimes we do take the dogs down to the off-leash dog park, dog beach, sorry. There are off-leash dog beaches around. This is a little tool kit I've had for a while. Top tool. It's just got, it's a handy little set. It's got everything you could sort of almost need pretty well in terms of bits and sockets and things like that. So we're going to see if we got something that's, we're going to start by taking this cover off. And all these screws, being all brass, are just coming out nicely. I've got a rather large bowl beside me that we're going to put things in. In fact, we'll put anything pertaining to the pressure gauge in there. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is all original. It hasn't been modified in any way. It's got a piece of timber on the back. It came from from what I've been told, it came from a powerhouse in Brisbane that no longer exists called Tennyson Powerhouse. And in fact, some of you may be aware of the place in Brisbane I'm referring to, as it is now a major tennis place for holding tennis events. But it was named Tennyson for a long time after. I should know this history, probably after a general or something like that. So that retaining face has come off nicely. It's very thin. Looks like there's plastic in there. Very old plastic. And there's still some on the glass, so we'll just take that off. Ooh. Okay. So we've got a nice piece of glass, and we've got this plastic ring that sits under the plastic or something. And the face is in really good condition. In fact, we might take the other screws out and look at the timber base, because I might have to mount it on. I'll put it back on this timber base, but I'll probably have to mount that onto something else. And I'll give those screws, because they're a little bit rusty on top, I'll just give them a bit of a wire buff. Just to clean them up. Sometimes people will write information on the back of these things. One other pressure gauge I got, that is actually the case. Righto, so I'm just off shot here. It's very well maintained, and if we take those screws off the back there, we can get in and make any adjustments, and quite often there might be something on the inside. So it's just a very simple piece of timber. Can't even tell you what sort of timber it is, a bit of pine or something like that. And this is where I'll get the rag and the silvo to get in here and give this a polish up. Let's just give it a try, see what happens. Give it a bit of a shake. Now this will take a little bit of work. It's not going to come up magically straight away, although it is starting to certainly clean up very nicely. And we'll just go around the edge of the face here and might get a little bit of soapy water or something like that. It really is in absolute pristine condition. You can't sort of deny that, and sometimes these bargains just come your way and you've got to take advantage of it, and certainly have in this case. Now most of this is not going to be seen, obviously, a lot of this, but we'll still clean it up anyway. Right, but I tell you what we'll do, we'll just put that aside for a moment, and I brought some linishing belts the other day for the linisher, or the other week actually, it's been a week. Sorry for the loud noises I'll have to watch that back and listen to it. So this is one of those buffing things that goes on the linisher. I'll throw that on and I'll give this a bit of a tickle up and see what happens. And I'll spin that around. In fact, we'll put it on pause and I'll come back to it. Right, we're back, and I've put that cloth on, and as you can see it's pretty bright outside. In fact, I'll take you outside and show you how good it is out here. The sun's going down. It's about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, somewhere around there. Not a cloud in the sky. We're looking directly into the sun. The camera's going to hate that. But you get the idea. This is, for those of you who haven't seen it, this is a shed. This is where it all happens. A bit wobbly. Hang on. There we go. There's a shed, fairly big. And this is where the restoration work is happening, all inside here. Right, forklift, lathe, milling machine, welder, drill, sandblaster, compressor. I've got most, couple of computers. The boiler's there, other bits and pieces. I've shown this stuff before. Those of you new here, thanks for being here. But anyway, I'll give you a run and see how this sounds. It's a lot quieter than a typical linishing belt. The wire buff is on the other side, so I might just give it a light wire buff because this is pretty sort of savage on one side where it's been exposed to the elements, and we'll see what it looks like. Right, you get the idea. It's pretty quiet. I like how quiet it was. And I'll try and get right here where my right thumb is. You can, you can't quite make up. It's quite rough there, and that's what I'm taking off. And then I'm going to try it on the polishing belt. So what I'll do, I'll just put this on pause. You can see what I was doing, and I'll come back. Right, I'm back. Taking the rough stuff off on the wire buff, which I probably didn't have to do because I did a small test piece, and it's brought it up really well. I don't think this is the coarsest one. It's fairly coarse, so I'll run around. I'll be very gentle. I'll run around here. There's no added wax or anything like that on some others, so I'll just very lightly take this off and clean it up, and then I'll go over to the Silvo. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Right, well, I'm pretty impressed with that. So here's something I prepared earlier. It's a steam whistle got given to me ages ago. She works. I might just run that around. Right, well, we know it works. It is a bit awkward, so I probably need to take the whistle apart to make it easier to get in and clean it up nicely, or a lot of hard work with Silvo. So I'm pretty impressed with that belt. It's pretty aggressive, I must admit. But let's try it on a bit of steel. This is an 1 3/8" tap that I used to determine what size thread was on the winch drum, the video I've seen that I've done previously, which I'll link in the description below. So we'll just see how it takes off rust off there. Righto, that's made good work of the tap here. It cleaned it up really well and put a nice polish on it, as you can see. And you can actually read the information that's been stamped in there. Let's get a close-up shot here. Whoa! Obviously my lighting's not 1 3/8", 6 threads per inch. Yeah, no, it's looking really good. Right, we'll go over and do a bit of polishing with the brass. Well, it certainly has made a difference, that's for sure, in the short amount of time I've been polishing it. Maybe this belt that I got was probably a little bit too aggressive. I've never used one before, so I was a bit unsure. I think there's a finer one at the store I got it from, which is tradetools.com. It's a franchise here in Queensland, Australia. I think they're in New South Wales as well. But you can order it there online, of course, like most places. And I'll keep polishing this, get it back to a nice polish, and get a finer belt, and keep giving this a bit more of a clean up, make it look pretty, put some time into it. So I'll come back later on when we've done a little bit more. So there's, just in case it was a bit blurry and I was a bit too close. It is getting there. It's certainly coming up nicely. But there we go. Yeah, it's probably a little bit scratchy, but we'll get back to a really nice polish. So back soon. Right, and we're back. So inquiring with my wife if we had any vinegar, we didn't. I thought I had some down the shed. So I have done a bit of work on this. It's certainly coming up a lot better. However, my wife has found a natural remedy. So we're going to use half a lemon and some bicarb soda. And we'll get a knife and here's one we prepared earlier. When life gives you lemons, and you may even hear the dogs, right, half a lemon, the juice of half a lemon. Now, most of you will realise that it's the lemon that's doing all the work because of the acidity in it. And the dogs are playing. The two shed dogs are playing, very much so. And that's what you can hear in the background. Right, I used to. Right, let's Hopefully I've squeezed enough. Yep. Oh, there's a bit more there. Right. Okay. Right, so how much?
A teaspoon of baking soda
Right.
or bicarbonated soda.
Same thing. Righto. Okay, teaspoon.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's dig out the, here's a paddle pop stick I was chewing on before with the, let's get the seeds out and we'll put our bicarb in. So the bicarb is going to act as our abrasive. Yes, that's correct. Now most of the same stuff that's in Silvo, you can use toothpaste and various other, everyone's got their own.
Tomato sauce.
There you go, tomato sauce. There is a particular bathroom cleaner that we use that can turn brass shiny. So I'm just going to shake this in by hand. Come on.
That'll do.
Whoa, look at that go. Woohoo! There we go. Bit of sizzling action. We'll stir that up. And we'll get it on our cloth. Probably should. No.
So you need a nice clean cloth to rub it.
Righto. Okay. Well, that's cleanish. It's pretty clean. I'll dip that in there. Righto. Is it making a difference?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what am I doing wrong? Because I can't. Oh yeah, I suppose it is. It's starting to. Do you put it on and then you wipe it off,
Yes.
don't you? Right. That's where I'm going wrong. Okay, so we'll liberally apply this. And yes, it is working because look, there's black stuff coming off or discoloured. And how long do you let it sit for?
Well, by the time you get round the other side, you should be able to start giving it a buff and a clean with a soft cloth.
Righto. Now, of course, everyone's got their own preferred method of doing this. We might have to get a... Oh, we found the scissors before, so I might have to cut up some more rag. We'll let that sit for a little bit. We'll just press pause. Right, we've got a nice cloth, and you can see our hand model here is doing a fantabulous job. And it has made a difference. Also, we've made a difference to the actual gauge. I applied some to around here, where I had the Silvo, and it's definitely made a difference. How's that looking?
Well, you may have to
do it again.
Do a bit more.
Well, just go on top on the...
Up there.
Well, I'll keep going around here. Now, obviously, this is not going to be perfect, but
No.
it's going to be pretty good. This gauge works, it's accurate, which is really good. So I'll go all the way around here. And there's quite a bit of dirt in it coming off as it's built up over the years. It's getting there. Now, steam engines notoriously, not notoriously, but do have a lot of bits of brass on them that do need polishing. Now, anyone who wants to get up close and personal and polish some brass, there's various groups and people and friends out there who would love a volunteer to come and help them you know, clean their engine, polish a bit of brass, all that sort of thing. So if you think you could do that sort of thing, or you'd be interested in doing that sort of thing, send us a link, send us some details, or get in contact with, actually don't send any details, just get in contact with me. I can put you in touch with a few people who would definitely appreciate. Oh, hopefully you're seeing that all right. Righto, this rag's getting a bit, and getting into these corners here, an old toothbrush is the way to go. Now, I don't have an old toothbrush, but I have something similar. I'll just go into one of my drawers here. Aha. Right, here we are. Josco Brumby 3-piece handlebar. So we've got stainless steel, brass, and like a nylon or Teflon. I find the Teflon one very handy. Of course, the other two are very handy as well. Yeah. Let's get the Teflon one out.
Wipe with a damp cloth.
Yep.
And then buff.
And then buff. So what I'm going to do is get in here into the corner. Right. So we'll just swing around here, and we'll put the shed dogs on camera. So they're in the shed here, and yeah. Hey, Nia, come on, settle down. Yes, say hello to everyone. Hey, right. Playtime is all the time when you live in our household, almost. Not quite, but anyway, you've got to have a bit of fun. And as you can see, with this nice Teflon brush, I'm getting right into the corner and getting a lot more crap out that's built up over the years from this gentleman who had it in his house. I'm just not sure whether he had it in his, I think he had it in his shed. But anyway, look, it has been well looked after, I must admit, compared to some of them. We'll give that a nice clean up. All right, well that's looking much better. We might go, oh, that's, yeah, no, we're recording. You see it going. That's looking way better. That's really brought it up. So that's damp cloth.
Yep. That's your cleaning cloth. That's your, what I was using to buff this.
All right. Oh.
And then I've got your dry cloth to...
Well, I'm now using it to...
That's okay.
Righto, so that's looking way better.
Okay, so then you wipe it with, once you've finished your... The reason why ketchup works is because it has vinegar in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, vinegar is...
Vinegar and salt, tomato, Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, vinegar is the base ingredient. So we're going to try and... getting under there. Let's get a closer shot here. You can see just under the fitting here where the brush is now, that's quite dirty, so I'll put a bit on there. See if we can get that nicely, or certainly improve it, that's for sure. Right, I'll just pause that. All right, we're back and we've got the glass nice and clean. We've got this nice and clean, or cleaner than what it was, sorry, in the frame. We're going to revisit this at another stage. So the plastic bit goes on there and the glass sits on top. Something like that, or is it the other way around?
I think that'd be the other way around.
I think so too, yeah, yes.
To support your glass then.
Yeah. And then it's got a nice cutout here, right there, let's get the angle. It's got a cutout there for this here, which is the part where the steam line or air line, big steam line goes into. And that just sits nicely in place. And our screw holes nicely line up. And I'll go into our box here and get our tiny little screws. Now, really need to give them a clean. I tell you what, that's something we'll do in another video. In the meantime, they'll go back to where they are, because I'll have to make up a little holder, because that's probably a BA thread, a real tiny thread. And if we polish those up, we make it even better. Okay. Oops. This one, excuse me, camera. We've got 4 in total here. And let's just get that sitting nicely so they go in easy. I think I'm not getting that one in properly. Right, hang on. Let me get myself at the right angle. Now, in any workshop, somebody needs a chair. You really need a chair to sit on. So you can get these fiddly little bits just right. And we'll just move that slightly. Now they're all just a fraction loose. This one might be a little bit more. Okay, I've got to so everything's nice and loose. This one's just there we go. Even though I got my glasses on. Righto, I'm going to get that started. There we go. Bit of patience. Right, we'll do these up snugly. Now it's only holding the face on, so that doesn't have to be overly tightened. Right. Now, that's looking way better than what it was at the start. We'll just flip him over and we'll take the back off and have a look. Just see if there's any information in here. Because one of the other pressure gauges I got had some information written on the inside, which was pretty interesting. I'll do a deep dive into that in another video, I think. Don't worry about it. Oh, okay. Right, so this back plate comes off. And we can see inside and there's no information. But for many of you who have not seen inside a pressure gauge, let's get it right here. So the steam or the air comes in here, goes into this tube, the tube expands and moves this arm, which in turn, let's get a good shot there, which in turn moves the needle. And that tells us, and that pressure in there, the difference, gives us our reading on the gauge, which is, of course, a gauge is normally calibrated. A bit sharp. Do them next time. We'll put this back on and we'll screw it back onto the timber. We'll just pause it there for a second. Okay, we're back. We've put the back on, and I've just got these metal screws. The bow wows are going to be fed. I'm going to go up and make some. The wife's going to start making some dinner. I'll finish it off. Just a simple one tonight. This, we're going to come back and revisit this. Definitely need to put a bit more time into it. Also, I'm going to work out where it's going to go in the workshop here. Oh, I know where it's going to go, but just sorting out how I'm going to mount it up. I'll leave it on this timber block, and I'll probably drill some holes and back screw the timber block to some other bracket and put it up where I can easily see it. In fact, I'll probably... I've got another pressure gauge which is bigger again. That's another Facebook bargain. So these things come up from time to time as power stations and things get decommissioned, shut down. You may be able to find things. However, coming from a power station, they're going to be fairly high pressure. But you never know. You never know what's in somebody's estate or something like that. You do see them going for ridiculous prices. I'd advise that you don't pay too much for something. If you just want to stick it up in your shed or your man cave or she shed or whatever you got, it's up to you. But they do make a nice touch, and it's even better when they work. So as you can see, this is looking way better. It's not perfect, it's not fantastic. I'd like to get it a little bit better. You can see the difference in the two. But the bicarb soda and lemon juice, or you know, it really worked. I'll get this. I'll probably get that tap freed up. Put another fitting on the bottom. Might even clean that up, polish it up. A few ideas yet, anyway. I know this has been a long one, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching all this time. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Tuesday night, excuse me, Tuesday night live stream from the shed, and we'll probably talk about this again and a few other things. Got a few things going on here, as you know, if you're a regular viewer. Thanks again. Have a good weekend wherever you be. Hope you have a good week, and we'll catch you later. Bye for now.